Hello again and welcome to Paul's Racing Channel for the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by upshiftstore.co.uk, digitalmotorsports.com, Pineapple Grips and CD Keys. So I'm glad you could join me for round 5 of our Mixed Manufacturer Championship. We've gone to Germany now, to Nürburgring. If you're familiar with that name, you're going to know they're at the Nordscheife circuit, that magnificent circuit labelled the Green Hell. And I think once you've watched this, you'll probably understand why. It's probably one of the most daunting but exciting tracks there is in the world, in my opinion. It's just outside Nürburgring, and the circuit runs around the village and the medieval castle of Nürburgring in the Eifel Mountains. It's about 12 miles long and it's got 154 corners, so that's what we're up against. So I say 30 minutes. Each lap's going to take around 7 minutes, so we're going to be looking at least 5 laps maybe, so not many, but it's going to take 30 minutes nevertheless. But so coming into this round then, we've got Thomas, who's still leading on 146 points, followed by Jerry in second on 110, so the top two covered by 36 points. Chuck's in third, just not far behind them. So that's how we're going, how it looks going into this one. That's your top three. So this is the grid. So we've got Wadru on pole position, we've got Paul second, Unforgiven third, Molson fourth, Jay Dyson in fifth, Jerry in sixth, Thomas seventh, Chuck in eighth, Ginger ninth, Chand in 10th and Rodders in 11th. Everyone going with the super soft apart from Thomas on the softs. That's your tyres, this is your race. Let's get this underway. So sit back, relax, enjoy this one. I say enjoy it because the drivers, some of them didn't enjoy it, but anyway, this is it, here we go. So Wadru's going to take them up off the start finish and away we go. Coming around that turn 1 now, and this is the start of something truly magnificent. This is actually classed as a public road as well, but I wouldn't want to drive around it if I'm honest, but well actually I would, to be fair, but you know what I mean, not at these speeds anyway. So Wadru then, oh, something's gone off, I think that's Paul out in the grass, and I think he's kept that in second place just, with Unforgiven right behind him in third place. Now, he gets the penalties for his troubles too. Didn't really gain anything, but considered it a penalty, so he gets, but he's got a long way to get that one off, hasn't he? Let's be honest. Still got 6 minutes to run that one off. So second for Paul then. On the chase down Wadru, then we've got Unforgiven, Molson in third and fourth. Molson having a look at Unforgiven now, but it's difficult to pass on this track. Oh, and he's having a look. He is having a look down here. Not quite. It's a fast track. It's a real fast track. But pass opportunities as Dyson's having a look as well. With Jerry not far off of two. But as I say, passing is not very easy here. In fact, it's nigh impossible. You've got a couple of longish straight areas that you can do it on, but other than that, you pretty much got to stick behind the car in front, because you get yourself the slightest bit off a line and someone's gone off, and who's that? Not sure. I see a yellow flag. Well, there's no one obvious, didn't see anything there. But anyway, green flag's flying, so away we go, racing again. As I say, you get yourself even just a couple of feet offline on this track and you're looking at a disaster. Slide from Jay Dyson. It's so tight, this track. And Unforgiven's off and he's in the grass as well. And here we go. We're 2 minutes into this and we've already had people going on the grass. So Unforgiven then drops back down to fifth. Jerry gets through as well into fourth place. So he's going with Dyson. Unforgiven with a little mistake there. But we'll be back on it in the BMW. Chuck in sixth place, trying to get on the back of this group as well. Rodders seventh, chasing. Oh, Molson dropped all the way back. Must have been Molson and the yellow flag from earlier. Must have made a big mistake. Drops all the way back to eighth because he was attacking Unforgiven, wasn't he? Up there in the top 3 or 4. So he's dropped all the way back, and Thomas, there he goes. Our championship leader goes through 8th place on Molson. So Molson all the way back to 9th now. Chan in 10th. In the Aston Martin with Ginger at the back in 11th. Let's just go back up to that 3rd place battle with, and actually Dyson's got away in 3rd actually, so there's a little battle still between Jerry and Unforgiven. So this is where we are at the moment, I think, on track. Try and make this as exciting as possible. I mean, it's going to be exciting, but yeah, as I say, you're going to see probably more spills and thrills on here from everybody. There's not one person out there that's going to make this track so simple. Not even Wadru. And having said that, he's leading at the moment, but as I said, you've got precision, you've got to be so precise, and there's so much going on in this track. Twists, turns, hills, undulations, camber, everything. The focus and the concentration on the driver's brain, believe me, because I was out there, is really hard, to be honest. Especially for someone like me with one brain cell, and trying to concentrate that hard for even for 30 minutes was difficult. But anyway, Unforgiven still having to look at Jerry, but as I say, look, as quick as it is, as they now come on to the next section, Unforgiven goes off wide, and again on the grass, going to be taken by Chuck surely. Chuck does get in, so Chuck goes through 5th place then. Unforgiven with a couple of mistakes here on the first lap. Chuck though trying to chase down Jerry. Unforgiven back on Chuck again, and my goodness, did he get some speed through there, and now Chuck's off. And I don't think that was a tag, I think that was just too much, and the Unforgiven goes through. I think he just gave it too much, Willie. And well, unfortunately he got himself back on track, so no real harm done. Loses a spot, but could have been a whole lot worse. So Chuck in 6th place. Let's just go and have a quick look at our leader. Well, away he goes, as usual. Wadru, there he goes, looking good in that Corvette. See how quick this is round the track. This is a particularly fast section, but there's some very tight hairpin corners as well. I'm just about to come onto the back straight, which is a proper straight as well, and this is probably the only chance you've got of any real passing opportunity, but you've got to be right up behind the guy in front to get into their slip as well. But Wadru's got no worries because Paul is nowhere near the back of him. Well, there he is, but certainly not in the slip from back there. But this is it then, Wadru and Paul still got that penalty, see? So he's taken almost the entire lap, because they are coming to the end of the lap now. That is a whole lap of this track. They are coming to the end of it, but he's still got that penalty and barely got rid of any of it. So he will have to get rid of it, but fortunately, gap behind him to Dyson is big enough for him to get shot at that without losing another spot, but certainly not going to be gaining on Wadru. He's going to leave it right to the last minute now, which is probably one of the slowest sections anyway, so just a tiny little bit to get rid of now. So it comes round that final right-hander. You're going to run that off now, there you go, that's gone. So we can start lap 2 clean. Dyson, he has caught up a little bit, but there he is in 3rd place in the McLaren. And then this little battle still goes on. Jerry back on the back of Unforgiven. Jerry still in 5th place, trying to chase him down, and then Chuck, who I thought looked like he was being hounded by Rodders, who's caught up with him. So yes, he has. So Rodders got himself a 7th, and he's caught the back of Chuck. So Chuck must have had a moment, unless he had a penalty as well that he's scrubbed off. But he's certainly caught up to the back of Chuck now as Rodders. That GTR should be pretty good round here, really. Okay. Pretty sure, unless my facts are wrong, that this particular car did hold the record for the fastest lap round here. It's probably been beaten since, but at some point it did have one of the fastest laps ever done round here. So no pressure, Dale. So back in 7th then is Rodders. And Molson 8th. Thomas has caught up with the back of Molson. Molson though, be kicking himself a little bit after whatever mistake, although, as I said earlier, it's not hard to make a mistake on here, it really isn't. And I'll be surprised if any of the drivers get through this entire stint without going off, and Molson's off again, and that's big time off Molson. And it almost threw Thomas off as well, so Molson not enjoying this out here tonight. Big off from Molson, so drops back down to 9th place. Thomas got through, but he gets himself a penalty as well. I think that was a consequence of nearly going off with Molson in front of him, just sort of distracted him, put him off a bit. So now Thomas has got that half a second penalty that he's got to try and scrub off. It does look like he's pitching Rodders actually as well, so maybe Rodders has had a bit of a mishap, because he's losing. Well, I don't know really, don't know, maybe Thomas has caught me, I don't know. They will look pretty close now. Maybe it's just a track layout, but anyway, Thomas is with the half second penalty, which he, and it's big time off, and again, easy to do there. Looks like you can go around there flat, but you just can't. You just got to just lift a little bit around this tight hairpin, slides it round the right hander, or left hander, sorry, round the right hander now. And now here, a little break here, you can't run wide here, it'll be another penalty. You get yourself up on there, and that's going to be another penalty for Thomas. That'll add on to whatever he's got now. I'm pretty sure it will anyway. Well, okay, I think the game's let him off there, because I done it and I got a penalty, so I'm pretty sure he was going to get one, but anyway, he didn't. Perhaps they felt a little bit sorry for him, being that he's already got one. Molson, 9th, Chad in 10th. Chad having a bit of a lonely race back there. Again, I'm sure he's that comfortable with this track, Chad. But he'll see it through, like everybody else. 10 minutes in, 11 minutes in now, with Ginger in 11th place. A few scuffs there as well, so he's had some moments obviously, and all the cars are going to have scuffs on them by the time we finish this race, I can assure you of that. So let's just have another quick look at our leader. I mean, not going to be any change of course, but looks pretty comfortable there. Paul still in 2nd place. So 2 there, 1st and 2nd, looking pretty settled there now. With Jay Dyson 3rd, not under any pressure either. Unforgiven's got away from Jerry in the Beamer, trying to chase down Jay Dyson now. He's catching it, so Unforgiven definitely catching Dyson, although I think Dyson just had a bit of a moment, see some dust getting kicked up there, so Unforgiven's going to be right on the back of him now because of that. So he's got a lot more pace as well in that BMW around here. Oh, and he picked up a penalty for Dyson, so must have ran wide again somewhere. Dyson got that half a second penalty. Oh, and again, runs wide, Unforgiven. Going to be a lot of glass cutting. I mean, that's fine. No big issue there. No real big deal. But sometimes some of the corners, you just have to do it. Just take a little bit more than the curb. Take a little bit of grass as well. Just got to be a bit careful though. Unforgiven, though, absolutely flying on the back of Jay Dyson. Maybe lining himself up to try and get onto the back of him through and along the back straight, because they're coming up to that section now. For this next left-hander, the mini carousel, as they call it. Oh, and it's easy to lose the back end like Unforgiven did there, if you take a little bit too much around there. But he's going to be on him, I think. Easy to run wide here too. The track doesn't get any wider as you go around there. And you have to just feather it around there as well, just lift off a little bit. And I don't think he's close enough to get into the J. Dyson slip. But maybe. It's a fairly long straight, so he could do. Jerry behind them. In 5th place there, Chuck in 6th, Rodders 7th. Just go back and see if Unforgiven, what he is catching him. Well, he ain't going to catch him in time to get the pass going, I don't think, by the time he starts lap 3. So it is 5 laps out here, guys. Hold on the brakes for you, very squiddly, got to be the brakes on here have got to be, the braking got to be perfect. Oh, I thought we did him then, but actually he was getting off that penalty, wasn't he, Dyson? So that's fine. That means Unforgiven then through to 3rd place. He's gone quite a big gap now though to try and get onto the back of Paul in 2nd, Dyson 4th, Jerry 5th, Chuck 6th, all settled there. Rodders 7th, not really gaining any closer to Chuck at the moment, is he? About the same. And then we've got Molson, who's actually got back in front of Thomas now, back into 8th place. Thomas has had another moment, unless that's still that same penalty, unless there's another one, who knows. Thomas is struggling out here though tonight in race 1. And the champion at the moment, sorry, I would say the champion, slip of the tongue there. The current leader in the championship, Thomas, seems to be just having a few issues out there. Not going to give him the championship yet. There's a couple more rounds to go, but or a round to go, I should say. But certainly topping the leaderboard at the moment. And Chan, there's no change there. Still in 10th place, coming through the long fast section now. The start of the lap, Ginger just coming up and down over the brow, up over the top of the hill. Front of the car lifts. Got to be careful, easy to run wide again now. No problems there though for Ginger. Pretty good through there, look to me. But let's go back to that Thomas Chan battle, because it looks like Thomas is really, sorry, they're not Chan, Molson. Looks like Thomas is really trying to get onto the back of Molson. But as we've seen, there's pushing and there's pushing. You've got to be really, really careful. Let's just have a look, see how Unforgiven is doing. Well, he's made a mistake, I think, or Dyson has sped up, because he's back on the back of Unforgiven here. This is Unforgiven, he hasn't got a penalty, so whether he's just had an off somewhere, managed to keep it on track, but obviously slowed his momentum, and I don't know, but either way, Dyson trying to get that 3rd place back off him. Slides it round there, Unforgiven. Another tough right-hander there on camber, tight. We're 17 minutes through now, so coming into that last 10 minutes, by the way, another couple of pointers for tonight's races, which is different to the normal format, is that the drivers don't need to run any mediums in any of the races here, so they can go flat out on the super softs for both races. There's no pit stops, so straight away through. There will need to be a little bit of fuel saving done on race 2, which is the norm, but you don't need to worry about coming in for tyres. And the other big difference for this round is that this is actually a double points round. So, well, I don't need to explain it, do I? It's pretty self-explanatory. Wherever you come, you double your points. So, obviously, the higher the better. But that's not easy round here. So there's your differences for round 5, and this sort of, if you like, special round, I'm going to call it. It's a special place, and it's a special round. And you either like it or you don't around here. But it's a magnificent venue, or a magnificent track. But it does burn some brain cells, let me tell you. Unforgiven then, 3rd place. Dyson, 4th. Let's have a look at the leader again. Well, he'll be going flat out to the end, won't he? Still clicking off. Fastest sectors 2 is Wadru. All 2nd place. Looking pretty settled, that car, that Lexus as well, around here. Up to 6th gear through these, well, I'll say S's, but it's pretty much straight line it through there. Now around this right-hander. Quick left now, quick dab of the brakes, just to straighten the car up. Now, mini carousel, drop that down to about 2nd gear. Around there, make sure you keep that car straight around there. Don't give it too much. Now, little lift around here, don't have to change gear necessarily, just lift it off now, away you go, flat now, all the way through to the end of the lap. So Paul in 2nd place then. Unforgiven. Now just starting at start and finish now. So there's not much between the cars, is there, really? I mean, these two are pretty close. Dyson there in 4th place. But not close enough to get into anybody's slip. So nothing's going to change up there. Unless someone makes a mistake. Wave to the cameraman up there on the bridge, or flash your lights, whatever you wish to do. He enjoys it. Jerry, meanwhile, 5th place. "21 minutes gone, so into the last 10 minutes now of this race 1. So it's gone fairly quickly, considering it's not an all-action race, but certainly still exciting, in my opinion anyway. Chuck, 6th place. Again, struggling a little bit. I think Chuck, a lot of scuff marks on Chuck's car, look at that. It's almost a different shade of colour, isn't it? But maybe not enjoying it quite as much as others out there, but anyway, 6th place is good at the moment. Rodders, 7th. Well, with the exception of Wadru, actually, Rodders' car looks probably one of the cleanest out there at the moment. So, obviously kept it pretty clean throughout. Just taking it nice and steady is Rodders. See if he can get that 6th place off a Chuck. I won't put the mockers on him now. Just keep that paintwork as it is, Dale. Molson, 8th place. Oh, and Thomas with another penalty. And he's racking his penalties up, and it's not helping his cause, is it? But he is catching the back of Molson, it would seem. But down in 9th place for Thomas. So he's going to get some points as we onto the 4th lap now out of 5. 23 minutes in. and not everyone's going to get. Well, look at this. Thomas really pushing, trying to get on the back of Molson. Now through this tricky section, up over the ridge, and easy to kick the car out there. And then it's sort of hard on the brakes, but not that hard, Thomas. And again, just completely spears it off. The car just not liking it round here, at least not in Thomas's hands anyway. And well, we know Thomas what he's about. He's that leader in the championship after all, so I think it's just the track is just not flavour of the month for him. And again, runs it wide, and he's having an absolute nightmare out there, is Thomas. I think he just wants to put this one to bed this round, and get on with the next round and see if he can secure the championship. Oh, and there's a yellow flag, and is that Molson? It is Molson. And Molson again, another one. He's not having the best of time here tonight. So these two are racking up penalties and racking up the scratches on the motors, and but he's still here in 8th, so he didn't actually lose a place there. Both got a penalty to scrub off, but Molson then still in 8th place, steady round here. It's another one with a camber, can easily throw you out to the left, but nicely through there, them two. And it's going to be a battle for them two, I think, all the way to the end, if I'm honest. Just trying to get rid of that penalty is Molson, but runs it a little bit wide, and he can easily go wide, and Thomas has done exactly that. Again, pushing to try and get onto the back of Molson, pushed too hard, and it's going to lose him a lot of time there. Going to try and get back on the back of Molson again. Chand in 10th place. Absolutely had nothing, no battles with him, just been isolated there in 10th place. Car looks in pretty good nick, but just taking it easy there in 10th place, really. It's not to say he's not trying and he's not pushing, but he's certainly not in the heat of the battle with anybody, is he? Likewise for Ginger. Just going to see this one out, this first race, see what we can do in race 2. As he slides it round there. So let's go back to the leader then just quickly. See how he's doing. Well, the Queen Mobile is still looking comfortable and still knocking out fastest sectors, which is unbelievable. This late on in a race, still getting purple sectors for Wadru. But again, with no pressure, I suppose you could do that really. I wouldn't know, I don't get many of them. It's Paul in second then, coming through. Oh, nearly runs it too wide there, gets his back wheels on the sand, did quite well actually to control that. Could have easily have let the back go there, and could have come right the way round on him, but held it well. Paul then still in that second place as they come into that sort of final 3 minutes. Although we've still got one more lap to go, haven't we? And a mini carousel, and away we go. Unforgiven, 3rd place. Still pushing as hard as he was in the first minute. With Jay Dyson in 4th, Jerry 5th. Oh, I thought you were going to go off then to the right, but held it well around there. Chuck in 6th place then. So final lap's about to begin for the boys up top. Well, for all of them actually, I should say, and as they head along the Max Straight, Rodders 7th. Oh, and goes wide, Rodders. Oh, and it's probably the first mistake I've actually seen him make, although I haven't had the camera on him, have I? But did well to control it, actually. And I don't think he actually hit the barrier there. May have just scraped it a little bit, but absolutely done no damage whatsoever to the car, so did well to control that one, Rodders. So 7th for him, 8th for Molson, still. And where's Thomas gone? Thomas has gone all the way back down to 10th because Chan's got past him too. So Thomas, well, my goodness. So he's dropped another place, and by quite some distance too, because Chand is there and he's gone past him by, yeah, by quite some way. There it is, that's the gap. So Thomas with an absolute nightmare here in race 1. Not going to be happy is Thomas. He's going to want to do better in race 2, that's for sure. As they come through this final sector now, get their car settled. Actually, very nice through there actually from Thomas. Then round the final turn across the line, start lap 5 and the final lap. Ginger coming along that back straight now. So it's quite some way behind the guys, but he'll get 11th place. So let's just go back up to see how Unforgiven's doing. He's not with Paul yet. Paul's there in 2nd. With Rodri. Naturally, we should all just about get the full 5 laps in here. Let's have a look as Ginger comes over. Yeah, he's going to get over just in time. So, runs a bit wide there, but that's no big problem. So he starts his final lap right on the half an hour point. So the 30 minutes are up, but it is a 5 lap race. So that's what we're doing. Molson, meanwhile, 8th place for Molson. Still pushing, and he's going to go just a bit deep. Oh, that's unfortunate. See what I mean? Literally 2 feet off of that track then. Absolutely lost it. Chan's going to go past, so Chan has actually got up to 8th place. So where I was saying he was getting a bit isolated on his own, all of a sudden he's made up 2 spots. And he could be under pressure from Molson now, so he's going to have his game face on for this final lap, isn't he, Chand? But Molson just outbroke himself. Got his back wheel on that grass. Just spun him round completely. Lost the place to Chand, back to 9th. And that's that. Thomas, meanwhile, 10th place. And then we've got Jerry in 5th place, still with Chuck in 6th. I think by now, not only are the driver's arms aching, probably the feet are aching too. Everything's aching by now, your brain, your hands, your feet, your back. So not the most pleasant of experiences out here for the boys, but it had to be done. All part and parcel of the racing, I guess. Can't have it nice and easy every week. I'm sure they're enjoying it, really. I'm making it sound absolutely terrible, aren't I? But the fact of the matter is, when you're in the race, it just really drains you with all your energy, with all your focus, and yeah, as much as you've got to crack on with it, it does take its toll, trust me. Ronda's in 7th place. So let's have a quick look at our leader then. Back to hit Wadru, and still knocking out purple fastest sectors. Perhaps he doesn't do any other colour, maybe just purple is the only colour he does, perhaps. I've never actually seen him do a red sector before, but hey ho. So this is our leader then. again, looks like he's out for another afternoon drive to get his newspaper. Wadru taking in the sights and the sounds. And these fast sectors now, down the dip and then through this next sector where you can just pretty much straight line it all the way through. I think I'll stick with Wadru to the end here. There's everything else, I don't think there's much else. I think it's all as it is in terms of positions for the guys. So we might as well see them come through to the end. Round the mini carousel, we'll nearly finish the lap anyway now as Wadru comes through the right-hander. Start of the straight now, go up the gearbox. And probably on for another fastest lap. So congratulations to Wadru, I think I can say that by now. Race 1 victory here at the Nordscheife. Led from the start. Through this last sector now. Going to come across the line. So congratulations to Wadru, race 1 winner. It does get the fastest lap as well. Paul is going to round it off in second again. Was in second. Started second, finished second. So a good second place for Paul. Slides it round the final bend. So second place for Paul then in the Lexus Unforgiven. Not that far behind in third. Did well to come back to the third place. Had a couple of little moments, didn't he? But a good podium place in the end for Unforgiven in the BM. Jay Dyson, well, he tried his best. Momentarily had third place off him, didn't he? But lost it back and got fourth place in the end for Jay Dyson. Jerry then ran the final bend, comes in fifth place. Good racing from Jerry. Chuck, sixth place. He'll be glad it's over, I think. Will Chuck? We'll have to go to the paint shop for that car though. Sixth for Chuck. Rodder's not that far behind actually in the end. Good seventh place for him. Chan, well, considering where he was in 10th for most of the race, to get an 8th place in the end, that's a good result for Chan. And then Molson gets that 9th place, and I just think I see Thomas shoot off. Pretty sure I'm going to see Molson come across anyway. So Molson in 9th, and then Thomas with an absolute disaster for him in 10th, with Ginger in 11th. So there's your race 1, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch me for race 2 soon, and I'll see you then.